early 70s of last century, Old Jaffa became the center of drug crime and prostitution, whatever little bit that we had here. And it was a real shame because a lot of history was being lost. And so the municipality of Tel Aviv Jaffa and the Foundation of Restoration of Old Jaffa decided to do a very thorough cleanup job. And they did an amazing project, and they had a very big dilemma. What to do so as to prevent this place from going back to what it was very soon after. So they decided to give this to a responsible community that will take care of it. Artists that are allowed to do anything that they want inside their homes, but have to keep everything of the exterior facade very similar to the Middle Eastern style that is common all around this area in Toledo, Spain, if you know it, and other places. So because the artists are settled here, Old Jaffa nowadays has plenty of galleries, studios, ateliers, shops. It's interesting enough because we see the abundance of the light blue color over here, and I think now is a good time to tell you about the two main streams of Judaism. There is what we call Ashkenazi Jews, which are descendants of Eastern and Central Europe. And there are Sephardic Jews, Jews that in 1492 were expelled from Spain and Portugal by the Spanish royals, Ferdinand and Isabel. And they were spread out in the Ottoman Empire, in North Africa, in the Maghreb countries, living among Arabs, assimilating many of the traditions, customs, and superstitions. Now, the Arabs have a superstition, believing that if ever the devil comes to them and seeing the doors, windows, and rooftops painted in light blue, he will think it's the sea or the sky and not find them. Now, the artists over here are not superstitious. On the contrary, they are bohemians. But because of keeping in line with all the Mediterranean culture, we see this over here, and it is very similar to what we see in Morocco, in Greece, in Turkey, and all through where the Ottoman Empire used to be. So just before continuing, I'd like to point out a little piece of trivia that is quite interesting. And that is that the streets of Old Jaffa, many of them are named like the signs of the zodiac. So here, for example, we see Mazal Keshet, which is Sagittarius. And this one right here is called Netiv HaMazalot, the way of the zodiac. And just down below is Cancer, or Mazal Sartan.